Hello everybody, welcome to Planet Coaster 2 and welcome to Silver Sands. On today's episode, this is probably the final episode of the park proper. I'm very excited to be joined by a very special guest, Planet Coaster legend and California native, the one and only Ducttapeforum. Ducktape, thank you so much for joining me.
Hey everybody, how's it going? It's great to be here.
Of course, we are here today to discuss all the awesome stuff that you've been adding to the Silver Sands park over the last couple of months. I feel like it's been.
It feels like it's been like a year.
Yeah, I honestly actually can't remember when we first linked up.
It might be something like that long ago. I think there's just been... Because I remember I started the project and then I think everyone kind of hit a slump.
That sounds very familiar, yeah.
Yeah.
The classic slump. Yeah, as I say, you've been tinkering away in the file for quite a long time now, adding various bits and bobs. And I guess it makes the most sense to start down here by the kind of gas station. I think when we were first talking, one of the first things we discussed was this idea of a kind of, if not abandoned, then a sort of dilapidated gas station. So I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about this to start with.
Yeah. Looking at all the episodes before, I had noticed that you guys had really started to make this place look way too nice. And I needed to get in. I felt the need to get in here and start making everything a little sloppy, to make everything a little bit more dilapidated, to show the real kind of how harsh this sort of environment is in the Southwest. I thought it was about high time y'all got an American's perspective on this here American park. So we started with this cafe / gas station. This is all based off of Roy's Motel in Amboy, California, right off of Route 66, and it's just this really fascinating little old mid-mod structure. But it comes from the time of we would call it like vacation land, right, when Route 66 was really popular before the interstate highway system. And so this sort of scene is what you would see on a lot of family vacations, because the infrastructure is so difficult out in the desert. It's so difficult to get things to and from here. There's a lot of these old, very multi-purpose buildings. So we have this gas station out front, and then there is a cafe, which they advertise harder than the gas itself. They know you need gas. They want you to come in for food.
Come in for root beer, which I would absolutely do, yeah.
You can get your root beer. You can get your little souvenirs, and a bunch of stuff inside would just be horrible old drop ceilings. And this place was definitely built in 1953, not updated since. This place is falling down, but if we go by the door, we can see we've got a little historical plaque. And our health rating in California. You have to put the health rating very prominently.
Oh, we've got a B.
B is for bad.
Oh, okay. I was like, that's pretty good. That's second rating, surely.
It's the first loser. You'll have really, really good diner food, incredible pancakes, and really good home fries, but you will get sick afterwards.
Yeah, you're going to be spending a lot of time on the toilet.
Yeah. Which there is none, so good luck. Big American flag, in case you've forgotten where you are.
Of course,
we really like to do that here. A lot of these places, they will still service a lot of motorcycles, so that's a big deal. Some off-road people with the dune buggies off in the corner. People will like to come tear up the beautiful scenery with their vehicles.
I think this is the first actual official sign of Route 66 in the whole park file, even though I talked about how it was theoretically on Route 66 or whatever. I never actually added any official nod to that.
It officially is now.
Yeah, so that's cool to have that. I think that's a really nice touch.
Route 66 is such a crazy sort of thing for the non-US listeners. It was an interstate highway before we actually built the highway system. And the actual original route of the road is more or less lost. So all across the West, there are tons of little places that claim that they are Route 66 or the real Route 66 or the authentic, and it's kind of just any road that follows a rough path.
Yeah, along a rough route.
But the real Route 66 does run near this reference, and then it runs actually straight into Los Angeles and out into the ocean, which is kind of fun. So the idea is you'd be able to, technically, if you drove south on this road, you would hit Los Angeles.
Right, okay.
But we exist in a quantum superposition.
We do indeed, yeah.
Silver Sands.
Yeah, and I like what you're saying about how it's kind of clearly been battered by the desert elements. You've got loads of really nice kind of decal stuff all over the building. And yeah, I really like what you've done with the cafe sign here, using the aquatic door, the backs of the doors and stuff.
Yeah, they've got those doors have a just really beautiful, gross kind of peeling paint, moldy, sun bleached texture to them on the back.
Yeah,
that you can really used to great effect. They look like panels. You can't really get rid of that edge, but you can lay them out in a way that makes it look like it's intentionally haphazard.
I think it totally works, even with the edges.
The biggest thing about the weathering, the easiest way to weather something is to add like moss and water damage. There's not that out here. So we have to try to think about how like the sun and the wind kind of destroys something. So none of the colors are good. And of course, we're in California, so everything's cracked because we're prone to earthquakes.
Oh, right.
And that just doesn't really ever get fixed.
Yeah, it's lovely stuff.
Every building in Silver Sands has to have survived several earthquakes.
I'd never thought about that.
Yeah, it's one of Mike Sheet's old tricks. Set all your parks in California, because if you ever run into a bad problem with the pathing or a weird piece of terrain, slap a rock or a crack over it, call it earthquake damage, and move on.
There you go. That is a good trick. I especially love all the weathering on this old sign here as well.
Yeah, it's that was kind of the most fun. It's just really mostly art shapes and a couple of those aquatic pieces again, and then just painting over it with layers of the weathering decals to make it look like it's sort of a bunch of different pieces and all put together. And
what are these made out of?
I think
it's this little light
they're
piece.
Those resort lights.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I think I made it before we had any real like good neon options.
Yeah, we've got those proper tube lights now. Yeah,
I believe it lights up. I didn't do a complete lighting pass, but
oh yeah, it's softly illuminated. Oh yeah, that looks really nice.
Yeah, there it goes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Missing a couple letters.
Love that, yeah.
Good stuff.
No vacancy.
Nope. Barely open.
And yeah, I mean, speaking of vacancy, we may as well have a little look at the motel entrance here.
So this would be one of the, these two buildings here, I imagine, are some of the only ones that are still functioning. So we have the old lobby in the front there, this beautiful sort of mid-mod glass little frontage piece. My favorite thing about that, the reference was really, it looks like just any old building with this front slapped on it. And so it's a lot, you see this a lot, I think, in the Southwest, we have a very, very nice and inviting like front little facade, and then once you peer back the curtain at all, it just turns into that's another concrete box.
So the concrete box with a corrugated roof.
Corrugated, rusted roof.
Yeah.
No attic, and just some HVAC up there slapped on as an afterthought.
I also love how the telephone is missing here from the...
Yeah. The favorite thing about this, and the most difficult challenge, I think, was definitely the roof line. Getting the inside and the outside to match. Floor-to-ceiling glass, this little indent, I think is really kind of interesting. Big, huge shout out to Distance for the advanced move tool. I would have completely torn my hair out if it wasn't for that.
Yeah, these kinds of roofs with interesting angles where you've got funny bevels meeting at corners and things are always just a true test of patience, I find.
Midmod loves their chamfered edges everywhere though. So many times like maybe I could cheat this and I could do it this way, or I'll do it a different way. I'm like, it doesn't really fit the quality that I wanted to put into Silver Sands, and it just looks good. It was worth doing for sure. Everything else just looked wrong. Yeah,
absolutely. It looks so good in the end. And I love this reception desk here, which you've got propped up with the little breeze block on the corner here.
Yeah, just like it's all just art shapes, and it's just super versatile to get in. And again, do all of these angled edges at 8 different strange angles.
Yeah, it's pain, but it does pay off because it just looks so good in the end.
Yeah, we can get your little room key from our stone receptionist.
Yeah.
Sign the guest book. I thought it'd be a fun idea to add a little something for all the contributors to the park. So this is, I think, everybody that's had a hand in building. I wanted to try to do like an idea of all of the workshop contributors, but then I realized the page would have to kind of trail off of the counter and all the way down.
Yeah.
Out the door, I think.
Yeah, I think I'm going to try and find a way to incorporate a list of all the workshop items somewhere in the park before I publish it, but I haven't exactly figured out how I'm going to do that yet, but it will happen.
I love when creators do little like diegetic credits in their parks. I think is always really a fun little touch.
Absolutely. So we will be doing that. And then of course over here we've got this awesome mid-century clock and this really fun little bench as well.
Yeah, I think there's a shout out to Jan from Bella Flora. I noticed he used it in his Americana section, so I stole that idea and modified it a little bit. Yeah. It's just the resort awning piece, but it's really it works perfectly for that kind of like googie bench.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even though sitting on it would actually be a nightmare.
It would do awful things to your thighs. Yeah.
We can pretend. called suspension of disbelief.
In this quantum, whatever it was.
Quantum superposition of California.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. All benches are comfortable in the quantum superposition.
Mm-hmm.
And then here we've got the rooms for the motel.
Yeah, I wanted to the idea that there's one that's still functional. First one closest to the lobby there. It's of course it's available for filming. We're in California, so with the right permits, you can get a film crew to show up and destroy the place.
Yeah.
Maybe you could probably stay here if you really, really wanted to. Get a hold of one of the owners and sure.
If you're really desperate.
If you're desperate to experience a piece of American history, stay in the desert.
Yeah.
0 air conditioning, no fan. Yeah, and then the rest of them are in various states of disrepair.
Yeah, we've got holes in the
Holes in
roofs.
the ceiling.
The windows are all boarded up because I've broken window here.
Yeah, I wanted to capture the fun sort of idea of the American motor inn. You have the Silver Sands Motel, which is more of a modern, classic 1970s style hotel zone. But here we have the sort of old idea that you see a lot in Southern California that tries really hard to extrapolate ideas of the American dream onto your vacation. So we're not staying in a hotel with other people. You're not passing someone in a hallway. You have your own cabin you can pull up to with your car as if it's your own house you're renting for the weekend, even though it's the size of a shoebox. Still, even at that time, probably still too expensive. But then if you don't quite have the money, you can shell out for just the row houses of the more classic motel in the back.
Oh yeah.
There.
Okay. Nice. And then around the back here,
We have nothing suspicious going on, even a little bit.
there's nothing to see at all over here.
Nothing's shady going on.
We've got loads of great little kind of storytelling moments. There's this little kind of shed or something that's fallen apart.
Yeah, we've got an old, I don't know, pump house maybe, some sort of infrastructure that's just been destroyed over time. The ravages of the desert got to it.
Yeah, we've got a little campfire or something.
Yep, just a smoldering campfire, some hooligans and miscreants quote unquote broke into, as if you can't just walk inside.
Yeah.
The only place that is half secured is this radio tower.
Yeah, the radio tower is a beautiful sight. Yeah, it's a really nice addition to the skyline of the whole map because you can see it from kind of everywhere.
It's nice how it kind of visually balances out the drop tower too, which is really fun.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, while we're up here, we may as well have a little look at this little fella.
This is my California condor. It is nice and animated. I'm no taggy, but that's okay. Yeah, it's just the coaster piece that I've added a couple art shapes onto to get the wing markings of a California condor, make it look more like it's got a bald head. This guy's really fun. He looks great from the ground.
Yeah, it really does. Like the kind of vibe it adds with the shadow circling on the floor. It's great.
Circling vulture is a classic Wild West sort of motif, and it being a California condor lends a bit of specialness to it because they're still quite endangered. There he goes. He is to scale, funnily enough, because this is Planco and everything's at Planco scale. It is a 3-meter long piece, but that's okay because that's the wingspan of a California condor.
There you go.
They are very large birds.
The one time that Frontier absolutely nailed it. And then around the back here.
Yeah, right on the other side of our nice little family retreat, we have some local culture, some local flavor, which is a man who knew what he saw. This man knows what he saw. He's not in any way crazy. You just don't talk to him, come near him, or talk to him, literally at all. The Greys stole his stash.
Yeah, Silver Sands is a government psyop.
At this day and age, he's definitely got a podcast about how probably the drop tower is secretly some sort of 5G mind control device.
And I love how he's got this delivery of tinfoil outside his door here.
Gotta line all the inside like a Faraday cage.
Yeah, just the whole thing wrapped up.
The RV itself is from the workshop. I modified it, took a couple things off and scaled it down, but it is from the workshop originally. The typos are all on purpose. So
I did assume that was the case, yeah.
A little bit illiterate.
Yeah.
But that's all right.
There's another one on the sign back here somewhere, isn't there? Yeah, private property.
Whether he owns it or is squatting, who knows?
And then I guess while we're here, we may as well talk a little bit about the foliage that you've worked on for the file.
Yeah, I think this has been, I don't know, maybe my grandest contribution is the foliage pack. Just fighting tooth and nail every day to get plants that look good. Not too much shade at Frontier. I do really like a lot of the main models, but we have all known about the jelly trees and the way the LODs and all that stuff. So.
Yeah.
couple things here with our first giant cardone. I see a lot of desert projects, and people want to make their desert parks, and they slap saguaro cactuses and barrel cactuses everywhere. But those are both really, really critically endangered species that you really can't get your hands on. It's difficult to move a saguaro cactus out of the Sonoran Desert, like in Arizona. They usually don't let you unless you're like a botanical garden or another state that'll like take care of it for some sort of park. Same with the barrel cactus. So we've shoved the saguaros together to make a different sort of armored cactus, or like an pipe organ or something. We've got our yucca, which is my new and improved Mojave yucca. The yuccas are like it's a super important plant you see everywhere. I'm living in Los Angeles. I've just walked to the coffee shop, and there's so many of it just even around my neighborhood. And a couple of them are flowering right now, which is really beautiful. So this little pack of various sized ones, flowering and unflowering. I really make sure that they look a little bit messier. A lot of the plants we have in the base game are kind of like the most looked after and well cared for version of that plant.
Yeah.
So we've added a little bit of dead beard on there.
Yeah, I love that. And then likewise with the palms, you've added in all the kind of bearding on all of these as well.
I'm going to put all this stuff in the workshop with the little fun facts I have gathered here. So if you want to download them and read them, you will. But I think the most fun, interesting thing about these, I want to make sure I get across with the fan palms, is that they're not trees. They're grass.
Right, yeah.
Or they're more closely related to grass than they are trees. So the three of them together in the back is how you'll usually see them actually in the wild.
In a little kind of clumpy cluster thing.
They'll cluster with the yuccas around oases and try to outcompete each other for water. That's where the old myths of the yuccas and the palms will follow the water comes from.
Ah, okay.
All these little measuring sticks are going to be included because they are like the maximum heights of some of these plants. Because you think like they look really big, and they are, but some of them, especially the blue agave, which we'll get to, they are genuinely that huge.
Yeah, this one was really surprising to me because I saw that you'd sort of put it next to these like 4 or 5 meter. Well, the flowering one goes up to 7 meters. I was like, surely that's mad. And then I googled it and saw a picture of a guy standing next to one. I was like, okay, they are actually huge.
They can get huge. But yeah, those are, I mean, you see these everywhere. They're classic. In around California and a little bit milder climates, not quite the high desert. These will just like dot the hillside. In the springtime, you'll see them all bloom, and it's really, really quite a pretty sight. And then we've got all of our salt brush.
Yeah, all these little brushes. I've been really enjoying using these to kind of break up the swathe of the like dead creosote bushes that I've been using to just sort of fill out the landscape. Yeah,
the background looks really good. I want to commend you on how you've like treated the Mojave Desert out here, because it is really quite lush.
Yeah.
Especially when it rains in the spring and the winter time. The whole thing explodes with this beautiful greenery that fades quickly, but people have never seen a desert in bloom, I think. And it's a really very, very beautiful thing to behold. A little bit of variation, especially in the color, helps a lot.
Nice. And then I guess we've got a little bit of a road sign over here that's probably worth talking about.
This is my little nod to a couple real places in California. They're in opposite directions, so this puts us in Silver Sands in our quantum superposition in California. So, but we have 29 Palms, which is near Joshua Tree, so like near Palm Springs, just north in the higher desert.
Yeah.
And then Zizix, which is a real place.
Yeah.
The way it's pronounced is debated, but I've only heard Zizix from people, including like local radio stations, so that's what I'm going to go with. But it's got a fun little story of being one of those like healing springs. Some doctor bought it. You can come out to the desert to cure your tuberculosis. And a really, really old form of like tourism that used to happen out here.
So is it like a hot spring that's being heated by underground geothermals of some kind?
Yeah, so it'd be all geothermals. The American desert is what used to be, the fun thing about it is it used to all be underwater, which is where you get the big salt flats and why it's chock-a-block full of fossils. I think a remnant of that is all like the geological activity makes this area have like quite a lot of hot springs in and around the desert, especially once you get into like Colorado, Wyoming, and Montana.
Yeah.
I mean, Yellowstone's right up there is the best example of it, but it was a classic thing at the turn of the century to come take a railway out west to cure your like white collar diseases. So if you worked in a city and got like tuberculosis, you would come and it was one of those where like you would actually get better by coming out here, and not because the waters healed you, but because you're just no longer in a polluted environment.
The air is not polluted, and the drinking water is not got cholera in it or
much cleaner. Yeah,
all
exactly.
that good fun stuff.
It must be magic. Like, no, there's actually.
I want to talk about these little kind of hook-shaped pipes that are emerging from the
Yeah,
ground.
yeah. So this little vignette here, I wanted to kind of show a lot of the typical infrastructure, or lack thereof. So everything would kind of follow these corridors. Like, the reason why these roads seem like they're always just like super straight and just go into nothingness is because they do. There's like a handful of mountain passes that are useful, and so all the roads kind of follow those old like Oregon Trail stuff. So following this road, we have an old telegraph pole, and we've got a gas line.
Right.
So these little hook things would be little natural gas vents, venting probably methane or explosive gases out of the ground if there's a leak, so that the ground doesn't explode. Yeah, I just let it vent out into the atmosphere because it's just not. It probably wouldn't this close to a town. No, that's actually opposite true. They don't care. No one cares. It'd be too much of a pain for folks to dig up the dirt and the sand, and so they just kind of hope that everything's fine. We've got our classic last gas sign. Which you see a lot out west, especially in like Nevada, warning you there's a town ahead, so you can turn around, but the next gas station is fully 40 miles away. So, and if you don't have a full tank, you do need to stop here and pay the exorbitant desert gas prices.
And make sure you get a root beer while you're here.
One of the design principles for a lot of roadside architecture in the Southwest is exactly that it's roadside. It's just signs everywhere because they need to catch your attention from a moving car going like 60 miles an hour. So everything needs to be visible from the road, because otherwise, you'll just stop someplace else.
Yeah.
We have billboards for like this place all up and down the road for miles and miles.
And then speaking of visible from the road, we could perhaps also talk about the big S on the hillside over there.
Yeah, so this S on the hillside is for Silver Sands. It's pretty common to have these mountain letters in the West too, usually with the first initial of the town nearby. It's a myth that they started as ways for pilots dropping airmail to tell what town they're in. But it turns out the first ones are from colleges and universities. Some kids painted rocks and put it up on a hillside to...
Oh, it's like a sort of collegiate pride thing.
Yeah, that's how it started, apparently. And then from there, towns adopted it because it turned from a collegiate pride thing just into a local pride thing.
Right, okay. That's cool.
So apparently there's over 500 of these all around the country. But
yeah, it's super fun, and you can see it from like all over everywhere on the map, basically, if you look in that direction.
Yeah, and then you can also see that train.
Yeah, I was going to say, obviously, in this direction, we've also got this absolutely massive freight train tearing through the tearing through the desert.
It's way too small too, which is fun. Yeah, this is also from the workshop. I think it's by PureBunk. They have a couple really good train sets. Don't look back there. They have a couple really good train sets. I think this is just their CN train model. I'll give you a link to. But I've reskinned it to be a Union Pacific train, which is the company that would service this area.
Right, yeah.
And then, yeah, I mean, you'd see these huge, like, no joke, 1 to 2 mile long freight trains lumbering across the entire West, coming out of California and the ports in Los Angeles to the rest of the country. I tried for a while to think about how I could make it move slowly across the map and truly be super long, and I just realized I think the juice is not worth the squeeze on the frame rate for that project.
Yeah, I think that's probably for the best.
Cool as it would be.
I'd never noticed before this little kind of spare train axle that's just like sitting out in the middle of the desert here.
Yeah, I think I was just kind of playing around with some derelict stuff out here, and I decided to leave it just like a spare train axle and some corrugated boards for whatever reason. Who knows why some of this stuff is out here, to be honest.
Yeah,
if you go in Google Street View and look around, you'll just, there's just piles of trash. Piles of trash out in the desert. It's the junkyard, that's good enough.
Yeah. Okay, is there anything else here that we need to look at before we wander off down the road?
Oh, 2 things if you go to buy your club car, like right there. I'll mention my little tag on the side.
Yeah.
It's also very, very Californian is to have tagging. It's with just my initials and one of the pirate fonts, I think.
Yeah,
just kind of really works perfectly for kind of like graffiti stylized.
Yeah.
Literally left my mark in a couple things. And then, of course, you can smoke. This is the middle of the desert. You can smoke at a gas station. Who cares?
Absolutely, you can smoke inside as well.
Inside, outside, anything you want.
So
no one's going to stop you.
In here, we've got a fun little...
Found my stash, dude.
Caught in the act.
Caught in the act. Can't bring me to prison. It's fine. I'm on the correct straight line.
So yeah, I think that covers most of the bits over here by this little installation, but you've also tinkered around a little bit elsewhere. So if I just pull us down the street here to the far end of the map, first thing to look at, I guess, would be the sort of landscaping outside Casa Patos, which I saw you'd been tinkering with a little bit.
Yeah, you'd posted in the Dronation Discord that Crime Pays but Botany Doesn't. Great YouTube channel on botany. And his spiritually depraved and misery-inducing series, I took a ton of inspiration from.
Yeah.
As soon as I think he posted one of those, and I immediately watched it. As I was working on my plants anyway.
Yeah.
It was immediately inspired to make everything just a lot more sad.
Yeah.
So
highly recommend going and checking out that YouTube series if you've never seen it. He's very funny.
It's really good. It's really funny.
Informative. Yeah.
So using his spiritually depraved crimes against botany method, we've got some evenly spaced shrubs. One of them super dead.
Yeah.
These oak trees that were planted that do not belong here. They'll be dead in a couple months.
Yeah.
And the grass is all... I killed a lot of the grass except for where the sprinklers kind of...
Yeah, you've got this little patch here where just the sprinkler is hitting it.
Then I've got the horrible plastic, like sheeting you'd have underneath to stop all the weeds from coming up, which they still can't do.
Yeah, it's failing, sadly.
It's failing horribly. Especially because also the little California poppies that I've got going all over the place, little orange rose bushes scaled all the way down.
Yeah.
They're genuinely one of my favorite flowers, but they are weeds, or they act like them.
Oh, right.
They are wildflowers, and they'll grow literally anywhere. So on the sides of the highways, if there's enough water, they'll carpet the entirety of mountainsides. Especially in like Lancaster, you can look at the poppy super blooms. They're really cool. You can cultivate them, I think. And I've seen them in plenty of flower beds, but you will not keep it in that flower bed. It will go everywhere.
Huh.
It thrives down here. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, we've got a couple dead palms as a classic. We've got our like sewer irrigation access just kind of in the middle of the planting.
And then we've got this new kind of little roadside sign on the corner here, which speaks to what you were saying earlier about everything being visible from the road.
Yeah, it would have to be, especially like a restaurant. No matter how old or new or whatever, they would definitely make sure that they have a sign facing the road so you can tell exactly what it is when you're driving by. I like the idea that it's in a state of disrepair, even though it's probably a newer edition. Our next right sign is a little askew.
It's still falling apart somehow.
So right next to the Silver Sands logo across the street, I think, like, signs, come here, look over here, no over here, no over here. Everything's competing for your attention. Because everything's competing for your money.
Yeah, I probably need to add more signs.
Technically, there should be a huge, like the one you have down for the bowling alley, I think?
This thing here.
Yeah, should be at technically every little thing, but again, juice might not be worse than squeeze.
Yeah, we've also got this little row of post boxes here, just off the main road.
Yeah, so I think one of the only things you need in America to be incorporated as a town, as your own town, is a post office. And even though your town might be like hundreds of acres or I don't know, square kilometers or something big, because there's the towns out here are massively sized because there's no one living in there and people just want the land. So we have the main access road running through the town, and then for every person who lives up this little, what would turn into a dirt road up in the mountains, the post office isn't going to drive their truck up there. What they do instead is they put all their mailboxes kind of at one of the frontage roads.
Right,
and then they'll dump everything off, and it's up to you to come down and grab it.
Right.
And of course, it's a big, nice row of things that are fun to knock over if you're a kid. So one of them is hit by a baseball bat.
One of them's a casualty, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, I wanted to make a fun little point. This would make up a good YouTube comment for the engagement.
Yeah, go on.
But right here behind this bar, yeah, like this road right here in by the casino, I think should technically be the state line.
Oh, okay, that's a nice idea. Yeah.
Gambling is illegal in California in the state, except on like tribal land. So this could be either tribal land, or this could just straight up be the state line, just right here, because it would once you cross the line into Nevada and like out of California and all the states, there's always something right on the border that says like, you can finally get cheap gas, you can finally gamble, you can finally do some other stuff.
So presumably in that case, I would need to add a little sign on the side of the road saying like, "Welcome to Nevada" or whatever.
Yeah, welcome to Nevada. they call it, the Silver State, something like that.
Okay, that's a nice idea.
Occasionally they're nice, big, and grand if you want to have fun with it, but sometimes they are just straight up like a small sign, like, hey, you're in a different state now.
Just FYI, you can gamble now.
If you want to be really cheeky, you put a police car right at the state line, trying to catch people speeding.
They could be hidden discreetly behind this billboard here.
Yeah.
With a speed gun as well.
Absolutely. They're definitely going to get fogged there. I don't know. He's looking like he's going pretty fast.
He's ripping it with no respect for these people that are just walking down the middle of the road. Okay, well, I think that pretty much covers everything you added, right?
I think so.
Well, I can't thank you enough for all of your contributions. Like I was saying, it's really kind of elevated the authenticity of the whole thing, because obviously I am extremely British.
It was so funny that it was you and then Fogg and Taggy are all on and none of you are Americans. It's just really kind of fun. Yeah. I think it really speaks to how much fun this game is, though, right? Because I do want to commend everybody on this project. You guys have nailed the Americana vibes in a way that I think is truly impressive. Especially for folks who've never set foot in like sort of this part of this country, never experienced this vibe. So yeah, it's really hats off to everybody. This is a great project. It's one of my favorites.
Well, yes, thank you, and of course, again, thanks for taking it to the next level and giving it an air of kind of real authenticity that I never would have achieved by myself, I don't think.
Yeah, thank you. It's always a pleasure. Super fun to do.
And then I guess while I've got you here, I'll just quickly go through some little additions that I've made to the main park here. Starting at the very end, I guess, since we're here already. I think somebody commented on the video where I said that this was going to be the end of the park, they commented saying I should add just sort of a big pile of dirt or something here. So I went ahead and did that. We got a big pile of dirt with a shovel. And then we've got some spare bits of fencing and some little tents that are covering up some more building materials or something, just to protect it from those desert elements that we were talking about.
Yeah, it reads as really authentic back here too. With the chain link fence, you can see the land that they own, and then the land that they've developed is two different things, which is very common to see out west. You just buy a massive package of massive spot of land, then figure out what to do with it later.
Yeah, exactly.
So we got some nice room to expand. We could fit so many flat rides, so many kiddie rides back here.
Frontier, I could fit so many small footprint flat rides in this space.
So many kiddie rides.
Yeah.
Imagine how cool it would be.
Just imagine. Please.
But no, we've got dirt instead.
Is this what you wanted, Frontier?
Just dirt.
Just a pile of dirt. This is what you've given me.
Look what we have to do. Not a massive, beautiful project behind it.
Yeah, ignore all of that. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, like some kiddie rides and stuff. Like that's the only thing this project's really missing is all of the kiddie rides, and then all of those like little coin-op rides you'd see outside of grocery stores.
Yeah,
just
like
anything
a
to
car
suck.
that rocks back and forward or whatever.
Anything to suck just like your last quarter out of you.
Maybe I should look on the workshop and see if anyone's made a little coin-operated car, because
that'd be fun. I haven't seen any yet, but that'd be great, especially if we get a certain someone to start, animating one of those. Would be really cool.
I was just gonna say. Now that we've got all these little animation things, like, because I remember I think it was Johns who made some in Planet Coaster 1.
Oh yeah, I think he did.
But obviously they weren't animated, so.
Yeah, it's a perfect time to make something like that. Especially with the now that we have the little vista points, we can at least have people go up and stare at them, clap and take a selfie with the. Yep.
You could have 10 people taking a synchronized selfie in front of it.
We'll pretend it's a historic ride. That's why they're taking pictures.
Yeah. And then obviously there's been a little bit of a rework here because we got these new flat rides in the parades pack, and I especially wanted to try and use this Tagada. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. Tagada or Tagada or Tagada?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. Anyway.
It fits perfectly back here. We love Mineral continuing to support gambling.
Yeah.
This park.
Yeah, well this...
it fits perfectly. Everything would fit. It's just a roulette wheel is beautiful. I know some people have said that these specific machines are illegal in the United States.
Yeah, I've seen that a couple of times.
I've seen things that are close enough for it. I don't think it makes a difference. We have like the like a gravitron or those orbitrons or the the little things that kind of stand up, but they're all based on centripetal force.
Yeah.
So the American says it's all right.
Right. Well, it's good to have your seal of approval. And then we've got a little day since the last accident, since they are kind of famous for being pretty lethal.
That would also be true.
I think SP Ridley was saying that his aunt like broke her arm or something on one of these.
I believe it. I don't. I don't know how some of the ones that we do have are illegal, because I've always been too scared to ride them.
Yeah. So yeah, I've wedged that in over here because it turns out there's still like a fair bit of space. Like you're saying, they've got more land than they actually need. So, but I thought it wedged in quite nicely over there.
Yeah, it looks like a really good new addition, right?
Yeah. They've sort of carved out an extra little bit of concrete over here, and then I've moved this little midway that was on the left here over to the right little side, and it kind of ties off the end of the park here pretty nicely, I think.
This is really awesome, man. It's a really cool project. I'm so excited for it to be released.
Thank you. Yeah, the plan is absolutely to get this up on the workshop with this episode, which is hopefully going out this weekend as we're recording. And yeah, thanks again for joining me today. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure to help you out and be in this project.
Yeah, awesome, dude. Well, thank you so much, and I'll catch you soon.
All right. See you later, man.
Bye.
Bye.
Nice.
The hell was that? Boy.
Okay, thank you once again to Ducttapeforum for all of his brilliant contributions to the file, to the park. And yeah, as I was saying, this is the finale episode of Silver Sands. I may end up posting a sort of cinematic montage video with POVs from a bunch of the rides and just some kind of atmospheric footage. But yeah, I'm happy to call this the finale episode. And as I said, the park file will be going up along with this episode, so there should be a link in the description. If you want to go and download the park, have a little wander around yourself. There will be a little bit of custom media required, so there will also be a Google Drive link. But yeah, other than that, thank you so much for all the love and support on this series, and on all the series in general, really, on all the videos. As always, I very much appreciate all the love and support. I've had so much fun working on this project. As I've mentioned many times now, it's been something that's kind of been bubbling away in the back of my mind since back in the Planet Coaster 1 days. So yeah, I'm super glad I was able to realise it in this game. I'm dead chuffed with how it's all come out. And as I've said a couple of times, I think, you know, I'm not saying this is definitively the end of Silver Sands. You know, who knows what Frontier are going to add to the game in the future. They may give me many reasons to come back and update the file. But for now, we're going to be calling this the 1.0 for sure. It's kind of a little bit bittersweet because I'm enjoying the vibe of like building this project so much. But I think it makes sense to stop at a certain point. Like, I don't want the file to become completely filled out. I quite like having some empty area to kind of, you know, give off the vibe of where this is located. It's kind of tricky to strike a balance for how much of the file should be filled up, but this feels like a sensible cutting off point. As me and Ducttape were saying, like, you could go on adding to this indefinitely almost. There's so many ideas for buildings outside of the park that you could add. But yeah, as I've said, I think this is a really good cutting off point for the 1.0 version of the park. I'm dead chuffed with it. I feel like I'm just repeating myself now, so we're going to stop there again, just to repeat myself once more. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will catch you next time. Bye.